Chat GPT 3 has taken the world by storm. AI is starting to transform the entire SaaS landscape. And more than anything else, for consumers, for developers, for founders, for VCs, everyone in this ecosystem, it's reignited our imagination of how to think about computers, what to expect from software, and what artificial intelligence can really do. Here's the big question though. We all know we're at this transformative point in terms of SaaS, in terms of software, in terms of startups. Here's the big question though. What are going to be the biggest AI-driven SaaS businesses that will get launched today that are going to be the next Googles, the next Facebooks in the next decade? Or even going to be some really profitable micro SaaS businesses in the next decade because of this transformation. On today's episode, I'm going to give you seven key SaaS AI business ideas that are going to be huge. And I'm going to give them to you not from my opinion. I'm going to ask Chat GPT 3 on exactly what they are. We're going to print them out. We're going to look at them. I'm going to show you the three principles that I utilize to develop SaaS ideas today, given the world of Chat GPT 3, language models, AI, and everything that I know about SaaS. And when you follow these principles and look at these 7 business ideas, which are actually really good, you're going to be able to accelerate your path to that next stage of growth for the SaaS business you're already running or the one you're about to start. Intro. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Unstoppable. I'm TK, and on this channel, I help SaaS founders like you grow your SaaS business faster with an unstoppable strategy. Now, if you're new to this channel, welcome. I drop an episode every single Sunday with actionable strategies and tactics from the trenches on how to grow your SaaS business faster. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and that bell icon. That way you'll get notified every single time I drop an episode with the TK energy. Now, if you're already part of this channel, if you're part of this community, if you're part of my SaaS go-to-market coaching programs, my people, welcome back. It's really awesome to see you over here. So we are entering the era of SaaS 3.0. I don't know why more people aren't talking about this, but this is a huge shift that's happening in SaaS. SaaS 1.0 was about taking on-premise software and bringing it into the cloud. SaaS 2.0, which is the last decade, has been about making sure all your cloud applications sync with each other, all your data is synchronized in the cloud, and you can do your best work. And SaaS 3.0 that we are headed into now and are in right now is going to be software that just does it for you. It's all in the cloud, the data's in the cloud, the workflow's in the cloud, it's just going to do the work for you. And we're starting to see that with things like Chat GPT 3, but there's a lot more coming. So this begs the question, what are going to be some of the biggest AI SaaS businesses over the next decade? What are going to be successful SaaS businesses that you can start today given this new technology, given GPT-3, given ChatGPT, given AI, given language models, all these new technology breakthroughs that are coming out now? So in this episode, I'm going to ask ChatGPT 3 what those ideas are, because why do work when SaaS 3.0 can just do all the work for me? We're going to print it out. We're going to work through those 7 ideas, and I'm going to give you the 3 principles you absolutely need to know about starting a SaaS company today in this SaaS 3.0 world. So if you're excited to dig in, go ahead and smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm, and let's dig right into it. First principle, let's ask ChatGPT 3 exactly what the biggest ideas are going to be, and then we'll figure out, you and I together, on if they make any sense or not. Okay, so I'm logged into ChatGPT 3, so let's just ask it, what are the 7 best AI SaaS businesses to start with ChatGPT? And it'll think for a second, and it should give me an answer any moment now. Okay, so it's given me 7, and what you'll notice here is it's pretty broad. Some of these aren't really SaaS businesses. There can be hardware businesses, robotics business, which is okay. So I'm gonna ask it again, and I'm gonna tweak this a little bit. I'm gonna say, give me 7 best SaaS businesses that I can start using the GPT-3 API. So I'm going to tweak the prompt a little bit. And this is an important piece. We're going to talk about this in the next principle on why this is an important distinction with GPT-3 and ChatGPT and anything else that's coming out with language models. Okay, cool. So this is starting to come out. Content generation. This is starting to be a little bit more specific because now it's saying, okay, cool, given the GPT-3 API, which I can build a SaaS business on top of, here's some of the big ideas that can exist, the businesses that can exist. And really what it's really doing, this is magical, but also not that magical. What it's really doing is it knows what GPT-3's capabilities are in terms of the APIs, and it's summarizing here the different things you can do using those APIs, which is exactly what I wanted. Okay, so we're seeing email automation, text-to-speech, summarization, content. This is perfect. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go super old-fashioned, and I love how it says like, hey, by the way, these are just examples. You still needed to go to market and figure out if this is a thing, which is like, yeah, that sounds right. So I'm gonna basically take a screenshot of this thing here, and I am going to print it out. And yes, in this world, I do own a printer, which is great. Okay, cool. Now that it's printing, let's take a look. All right, and so now that Chat GPT-3 has done some of the work for us, let's do the hard work where we actually figure out if this is real and accurate or not. 7 great AI SaaS businesses, according to Chat GPT-3, and we will see what that really means. Okay, so principle number 1 is, well, we can ask Chat GPT-3 on some of these answers so we can, as humans, figure out, hey, is there a real thing here? But really what this means is I've got this new API. That's principle number 1 with figuring out your best AI idea or how to incorporate AI into your existing SaaS offering, whether you're starting a new one or even existing one. You really want to understand what are the new capabilities that this technology is giving you that you can incorporate into your SaaS application. And so that's why I asked this question in this specific way. This is essentially the prompt, right? I asked in a specific way because I wanted to know, given the Chat GPT-3 API, which is GPT-3 underneath that the chat sits on, and I think GPT-3 is actually more powerful than this Chat GPT-3, and it's going to be even more powerful with Chat GPT-4. But given that API, what are some incredible SaaS businesses that I can build? So you can see it starts to talk about like, well, you can build a SaaS application that does content generation because we know we have APIs around creating text. It's a language model. You can do language translation. You can do chatbots where it does intelligent responses. So you can create your own focused chatbot, just like Chat GPT-3, using the GPT-3 language model. You can actually give it text and you can summarize things. You can give it text and it can turn it into speech. You can do email automation where it writes emails for you based on the context of what's going on. And you can even do content personalization where given a specific person and their characteristics, you can say, hey, take this content and personalize it and pick out the right things or summarize, and you can combine some of these things. These are 7 really great SaaS ideas. They can be micro SaaS ideas, it can be massive venture-backed ideas, depending on the market you're going into. What I did love is, it says like, hey, these are just examples and you should conduct your own research and analysis and feasibility, which is exactly what we talk about in this channel. It's like ideas are certain things, but you want to apply the principles and figure out if the market has a real urgent and important need for it. But principle number 1 here is that this is new technology that exists today. And so the question becomes, what can I do with this API? How can I tweak this API to really make the most of it? And so this brings us to principle number 2 of, with these 7 great SaaS ideas, like how do you turn it into a real SaaS business? How do you take part in this SaaS 3.0 era? How do you build a SaaS business, whether it's a micro SaaS or a huge venture-backed SaaS or something in the middle that's bootstrapped? How do you actually take part in this to build game-changing software that wins the market and dominates given this new trend that's happening? Remember, we talked about there's 1.0, which is basically on-prem to cloud. 2.0, which is it's all in the cloud and all in sync and you have workflow. And now we're at 3.0, which is it's all here. They all build off of each other. It's like, just do it for me. And so this is where it becomes really, really interesting. Principle number 2 that you want to understand to take advantage of any one of these 7 great AI businesses or just this change that's happening with AI to build an incredible SaaS company is you want to think about prompt engineering. This is really important. Did you notice how earlier in the video, I tried a couple of different ways to ask GPT-3 the question? These are called prompts. And in the old world, you had APIs that had specific functions. You can call them in certain ways. It pass in variables. All of that's gone. With this new technology, you basically just ask it. You give it a prompt and it gives you an answer. It's still an API in ways, but you have to ask it through language because it's a language model and it understands language. It doesn't need a programming language. But it's just as powerful as any API, meaning the way you ask the question, it gives you different answers. That first question I asked was, hey, what are some great AI businesses? And it gave me a very broad set of AI businesses. Then I asked like, hey, that's cool, but I wanna know, given the GPT-3 API, what are some great SaaS businesses that I can build? And it gave me a much more focused set of businesses. And you can see how these are squarely SaaS businesses and SaaS products that you can build. That's the power of principle number 2. The way to use this technology, the power of it is in the prompts. See, GPT-3 itself may know everything, but it doesn't know what to do with it. You have to give it a prompt. And that is a creative process. And so you can think about right now, you have this chat interface and you give it a prompt and it gives you an answer. And then you as a human being are interpreting that answer and maybe giving it more prompts to tweak it. That's what I did right in front of you. That was a human piece. A big opportunity here is to create a SaaS product where you take input from the users and then you pass it to GPT-3 as a prompt and then you pass it back. And that allows you to actually get creative on exactly how you leverage GPT-3. So for example, let's just say you're creating an email automation tool. Some of the inputs that you take are, hey, who is this email going to? What do they care about? What are you selling? What's your value prop? And you can generate a custom prompt saying, hey, GPT-3, create a custom email, a cold email that's targeted towards a VP of sales who needs more pipeline and is looking for outbound email automation software. And you can go pass this to GPT-3. That's you taking a bunch of inputs and generating a prompt. And that prompt is what's generally unique about how you're using this API. And you're passing it in and it's giving you a response and you're passing it back to the user. All of a sudden, even though someone can just go to GPT-3 and use the underlying technology, your solution becomes more valuable because you're thinking about the inputs and the outputs, which has always been the case with any technology. What you're thinking about is, cool, I really want to solve a specific problem. Any one of these are amazing problems to be solving. So let's just say I'm going to solve the email automation problem. Perfect. I want to ask the user, my SaaS offering is going to ask the user, who is this for? What are we selling? What do they need? What do they care about? What are they afraid of? And based on that, you can feed that into GPT-3 and it'll come out with an answer. GPT-3 on its own will not know, at least not yet, on what prompts to ask you or how to tweak your prompt. It's just input, output, input, output. But you can build a SaaS software that takes more granular inputs and feeds it to GPT-3 to get better answers. And that in itself is what we call the alpha. It's the unique differentiator. And now all of a sudden, your SaaS application, even though it's built on top of GPT-3, is giving more value to the user. And that's what enables these incredible 7 businesses that could become a thing over the next few years. Now, there is a principle number 3, but before I go into that, let me just pause here for a second. Are you starting to see the power in this? Are you starting to see the power of how this technology shift is amazing, but there's so much us humans can do in terms of building great software to take advantage of this technology. It's as good as when AWS came out. It's as good as when cloud came out. These are unique APIs that you can leverage to build incredible software and solve problems for very specific markets. That's the power in this, and that's the opportunity here. And in the third principle, I'm going to show you how you can really get a competitive differentiator over any of the other products using AI, even if you're going after one of these ideas or one of your own. But before I do that, if you're starting to see the power in this, can I just get a yes in the comments below? And also smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It really likes it when you do that. Also, you'll notice even Chat GPT-3, when it gave you these ideas, it said, hey, you want to make sure you do your own research and your own analysis. You really figure out if there's a market for what you're building before you waste months building the wrong product. This is why I have my 10-point SaaS business checklist. It's a simple checklist you can follow to stress test your idea. Doesn't take long, it's super powerful. It'll stop you from wasting months on building the wrong product. You don't have to go anywhere right now. I'll link to it below. I'll tell you more about it at the end of this episode, but you wanna know principle number 3. So let's go into principle number 3 because this is what really brings it together. Principle number 3 is a feature of GPT-3 called fine tuning. This is super powerful because in principle number 1, you can ask the GPT-3 for specific ideas based on its capabilities. So it's already giving you that. So now you know all the different type of products that you can build. In principle number 2, you now know how to leverage GPT-3 in a smart way. You can create prompts, and that's one of the levers you have to really take advantage of this technology and create a 10 times better experience than people using Chat GPT-3 on their own. All of a sudden, now you can sit on top of GPT-3 and use this language model, use this AI, use this API, if you will, to make a wildly differentiated product. Principle number 3 is something that's even more powerful. This builds on top of that. GPT-3 has a feature called fine tuning. Oh, obviously this is going to develop over time, but the basic idea around this is you can take the custom data that you have about your user, about your market, about the specific domain you're going into, and you can feed it into GPT-3 to fine tune the model. So you can say, hey, look, GPT-3, I know you know everything there is to know about the world and everything that's on the web, but I happen to know a few things specific to my user or specific to their customers or specific to everything that we know. And I'm going to train you on that. And based on that, I want you to give me your answers. I want you to improve your answers. This is the idea of fine tuning. And what this does is basically you have GPT-3 over here. On top of that, you have your SaaS application that's creating these unique inputs and prompts, but you're also adding a layer of training data. And this is wildly differentiated because you're taking your user data, your customer data, assuming your privacy policy allows for it, and you got to figure that out, talk to a lawyer, I'm not your lawyer, and you can feed that into GPT-3 or another language model like it, and there's gonna be a lot more like this. Google's gonna come out with one, Microsoft's gonna come out with one, they're all gonna come out with one, right? And Microsoft already is partnered with GPT-3, but we'll see how long that lasts. But the idea is you can use your own data to train these language models to get even better answers. And that's principle number 3, where when you combine these 3 things, you're gonna be able to create amazing SaaS businesses over the next few years as part of this SaaS 3.0 movement that is AI driven. And you can start to see the difference in this, where instead of just going to ChatGPT-3 and an average user saying, hey, how do I use this thing? You can build SaaS applications that says, cool, give me these inputs, and based on that, I'm gonna solve the problem for you, I'm gonna do it for you, and I'm gonna leverage GPT-3 on your behalf. And that's gonna make it where it's so valuable, people are gonna pay you more. ChatGPT-3 might be free, just like how AWS doesn't cost as much as an average SaaS application does, because anyone can actually access compute. But it's the code that really differentiates how to use that compute is where the value is created, and customers would rather pay for that solution. And that's the opportunity you have. So to recap, these are the 7 great AI SaaS business ideas that you can build based off of what the GPT-3 API provides. This is not my opinion. This is based off of ChatGPT-3. And it's completely correct. This is what its capabilities are, so this is what you can do. Based on that, principle number 2 is this is all about prompt engineering. So you can use GPT-3 in unique ways and give it unique prompts to get better answers and better results and get better solutions for your customers. So you can build SaaS applications on top of GPT-3. And number 3, you can fine tune GPT-3 or any other language model that you're using your own data to get even better answers. So going back to the email automation example, you can say, hey, here are the 50 billion things that VP of sales care about and don't care about. Here's what their job description is. Here's what their compensation plan is. Based on that, write this cold email for VPs of sales who want more pipeline. And you can start to see how all these pieces come together to build some amazing AI SaaS businesses for this SaaS 3.0 era. And that's what I had for you today. Now you know what some of the greatest businesses are going to be given this new technology that's accessible to us as developers, as founders, as startup founders. What you may not know is, hey, these are great ideas, but how do I actually stress test it so I'm not spending months building the wrong product? This is why I created my 10-point SaaS business checklist. Just go to tkkader.com/SaaS-checklist. tkkader.com/SaaS-checklist, or just follow the link below and you can get access to it right away. It's completely free and you spend, 10 minutes on it and you'll be able to stress test your core idea to make sure you're not wasting time building the wrong product. This is super powerful. I'm really excited about this. One of the things I've always wondered is what are we gonna talk about every single week forever? How do we come up with new ideas for an episode every Sunday? I do an episode every single Sunday. But with exciting changes like this, it just makes you realize oh my God, we're in such early innings of SaaS. I'm so excited about all the amazing companies that are gonna get built. And that's why I do this channel, that's why I do this. If you got value from this video, please smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Also, I drop an episode like this with actionable strategies and tactics, both from my own founder journey and from other founders that I I coach through my coaching programs. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and that bell icon. That way you'll get notified every single time I drop an episode. Also, make sure you grab a copy of that SaaS business checklist, the 10-point checklist, because it asks the right questions to stress test your idea so you can take advantage of this amazing technology that's coming out and accessible and build incredible SaaS companies. Also, if you have a fellow founder, if you have a fellow co-founder, if you have a future founder that you really want to start a company with, if you have a team member, if you're part of a WhatsApp group, a Slack group, please share this video with others. We want to help as many SaaS founders as possible build incredible companies. We put a lot of love in these videos exactly for that. And lastly, remember, everyone needs a strategy for their life and their business. When you are with us, yours is going to be unstoppable. I'm TK, and I'll see you in the next episode or inside of the SaaS Business Checklist. Ooh. Okay, this is gonna be a fun one. You'll see.